And my dear friends, a very good evening to all of you. We are gathered here today to celebrate the valedictory ceremony of Eu-Reka 2022, organized in association with the IEEE Education Society of Pune section and IEEE Antennas and Propagation Society. Rakshit and I, Shivani, are your hosts for today. Um, I, I are your hosts for today, and we will take you through this evening dedicated to celebrating the success of Eu-Reka 2022.
We are delighted to have with us our esteemed dignitaries. Chief guest as Dr. Ravindra Utkikar sir, guest of honor as Dr. Rajendra Shinde sir, Chair of IEEE Pune Section 2023, Dr. Surekha Deshmukh ma'am, Chair IEEE Education Society, Dr. Virendra V. Shinde sir, and Chair TEMS Pune Section, Mr. Prashant Joshi sir. Light symbolizes knowledge, wisdom, and free will. To solemnize this special event, I would like to entreat the dignitaries to illuminate this lamp and inaugurate this event.
Thank you so much. Now, I would like to hand over the mic to Dr. V.V. Shetty sir, the Chair of Education Society, IEEE Pune section.
Very good evening to all of you. First of all, I welcome you all for this valedictory function of Eu-Reka 2022. One common thing before I start my speech, on the dais, there are three people whose name is Dr. Rajendra, Dr. Ravindra, and myself, Dr. Virendra. So there is a Indra's Raj, you can say, and so it's a really nice, you can say, program. So for this program, I welcome all the dignitaries which are present on the dais. First of all, I welcome today's chief guest, Dr. Ravindra Utkikar sir, who is my good friend. Sir, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time. Second, very respected personality of India, Dr. Rajendra Shinde sir. Sir, you accepted our invitation with a simple request, and he said, if young students are there, I should be there, I should come to this program. Sir, thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Our dynamic leader of IEEE Pune section, Dr. Surekha Deshmukh ma'am. She is a chair for 2023. Ma'am, I thank you very much. Under your leadership, definitely we will achieve whatever expectations our volunteers have. So thank you for coming. Dr. Prashant Joshi, he is always supportive. He always guides our students. So thank you very much. On online mode, there are two dignitaries which are present. Professor Das from IIT Bangalore. Sir, I welcome you for this program. And one more personality, Mr. Herbert. So these two people are online. So I welcome all the dignitaries for this program. And our mentor, our you can say leader for Education Society, Professor G.S. Mani. You can say founding father for Education Society. Under your blessings, we are working very hard to take this initiative which you have started. And 2022, our chairman was Professor Girish Khilari. So he was also very, you can say, dynamic leader for 2022. Under his guidance, we conducted this program. And our secretary, Dr. Nihanan, our vice chair was Dr. Mane sir. He was not there. And you can say the real, you can say hero for this program 2022. Two people I should mention here. Dr. G.S. Mani sir and Professor Abhijit. So they really work hard. They are the, you can say, two wheels of this Eu-Reka 2022, I must say. And I should thank both of them. But it's a teamwork. And all the, you can say, members of 2022 is, you can say, governing council member. Also, 2023 members. I cannot take everybody's name. Also, 2-3 experts from industry they came, and I also thanks all the you can say experts who judge this event, and they really work hard. There are volunteers, student volunteers. These are the backbone of IEEE Pune section. So I must thank my all student volunteers who really work hard for this program. At the same time, I can say there are many more members from outside Maharashtra, from all over India. They contributed. We took meetings for last 6 months, and their inputs really work. So the concept of this, I think Professor G.S. Mani will speak in his speech. I will not speak. My job was given for 3 minutes to welcome all the members. So that I have done. But it's a really nice initiative. I must tell to our chief guest and our guest of honor, sir, under Education Society, we really work for the students. I must tell you, I met in the month of February a school where there are deaf and dumb children of age of 2 to 20 years. So when we enter into that school and when I saw they are physically fit, everything was good, but they are unable to listen. So they are not able to listen, therefore they are unable to talk. And when I saw that particular scenario in school, I felt see, we are taking education, we are working in an education society, and the right platform was started by Pune Center to work for such children, and we really work for such people. Last year we visited schools where we educated students on different technology. So this society which is formed really work for the benefit of students, and there was a concept we speak as we were talking with Ravindra sir. We follow foreigners most of the time, and they started STEAM education where science, technology, engineering, and mathematics was a thing. But our India's main base is our culture. So we modified that STEM to STEAM, where we added arts. And you know that in 2019, for our Eu-Reka valedictory function, our Dr. Kasturi Rangan sir was the chairman for that. And the new education policy which state that art should be there. Therefore, we at our MIT Art Design Technology University also, in a short span of 2 years, sir, I am very happy to inform you the maximum society chapters we started at that university. There are 7 chapters we started at our MIT Art Design Technology University. Similarly, our all colleges under Pune University, they are working for a betterment of IEEE society. Our chairman will talk on that. The most importantly for the information of students. Dr. Shende sir is a former, you can say, director of United Nations Environment Program. He was working in United Nations. So he is also founder director of Green Terre Foundation, and he's also, you can say, a member, not a member, but the prime mover of a smart campus cloud network. So today, when I was reading Times of India, there was one article I read, and in that article, one top, you can say, actress, she mentioned that we are not at all worried. We are not worried about the climate change which is taking place in India, and the disasters may happen within a short period. And I think both the leaders today, who are the guest and chief guest for today's program, they are working on climate change. They are working on environment. They are the people who spend their life for betterment of, you can say, environment. And you are the right, you can say, guest for today's program. Sir, the participant students are from different part of country. As I said to you, our first chief guest was Dr. Kasturi Rangan sir. Second, our Dr. Sahasrabudhe sir was the guest. Last year, our IEEE Region 10 director was the guest for this program, and now two, you can say, environment leaders of our country. They are working here. I should not read Ravindra Udkikar sir's whatever portfolio is handling, but I should read it. He is a vice president at Corporate Strategy and Marketing at Praj Industries Limited. So I welcome once again all of you. If I forget anybody's name, please excuse me, but on behalf of IEEE Pune section and on behalf of IEEE Education Society Chapter Pune, I welcome all of you. This is a place when teacher come here, he will start speaking and somebody should stop. So I have many points to say, but because of the short time given to me, I will stop here. And last point I will mention, just now one professor from Chennai, he came here and he met me. So what is the beauty of this platform? He is coming here from 2017. So he came third time, and when he last time met me at the campus, he saw me, and one more proud moment for me also. I must thank my Pune chapter, because from last 3 years I am the chair of IEEE Education Society, and this event, which is very close to me, I am, you can say, part of that event. So once again, I thank each one of you. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting us. It's my pleasure to invite the present chair of IEEE Pune Section 2023, Dr. Eu-Reka to address our audience.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, respected dignitaries of the dais, and dignitaries who have joined us in an online mode, Dr. Rajendra Shende sir, Dr. Ravindra Udkikar sir, my IEEE colleagues, my dear friends, guests all across India, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. On the occasion of valedictory function of Eu-Reka 2022, as the chair of IEEE Pune section for 2023, I must take this opportunity to present the contributory journey of IEEE Pune section over decades together, and what we have been doing at IEEE Pune section. That's something I really want to share with all of you. IEEE Pune section has a member base of around 2,500, including student members, young professionals, senior members, life members, and fellow members. Till date, we have established more than 15 technical chapters covering more than 18 technical societies, creating an ecosystem of experts from sectors such as power and energy engineering, computer engineering, communication engineering, signal processing, aerospace technology, instrumentation engineering, engineering in medicine and biology, computational intelligence, etc. We also have IEEE Education Society, where Dr. Shete sir is chairing that society. Then we have Technology and Engineering Management Society, where you have on dais Mr. Prashant Joshi, who is chair of that society. Now, apart from these societies, we have site group, we have Women in Engineering Affinity Group, we have Young Professional Affinity Group. Along with the same, we have 20 plus student branches in and around the city of Pune who are associated with us. We have MOU with North Jersey section, couple of industries, enabling very strong industry academia connects. In turn, which creates more and more opportunities for our members and students. This year, we have very good plans as far as our student members are concerned, which includes my announcement of having an annual student congress from 2023 year, exclusively for making student members of Pune section to come together, have a dialogue, interaction, and be with each other. The another announcement that I have done is having a project exhibition of student branches of IIT Pune section. Apart from these two announcements, where I definitely expect the student members of this IIT student branch to come forward, collaborate, and contribute, we do are planning for student technical proceeding also, where they will be guided by IEEE members to understand and make them understand what and how they should be able to write research paper. Now, with this statistical briefing, exclusively for the guest and guest of honor, let me share the impact also that we have been creating at national level as well as global level. Now, specifically as per our Techno's social flagship event, that is today's event, Eu-Reka is concerned, it is very close to my heart. Of course, it's close to my heart not because it resonates and echo to my name, Eu-Reka, but it is because it's an amplified, it's a empowered, and it is a glorified version of a small technical activity which we started 20 years back under Power and Energy Society. And let's put hands together for Professor Mani sir for making that small event reach the extent of global recognition. And now, and that's one of the reasons we even renamed it very, very appropriately as Eu-Reka. Now, when I talk about Eu-Reka, there are multiple other ways by which we do create impact. I would like to, share with you a couple of contributions, like contribution under special interest group on affordable agriculture, different projects that we undergo in association with Pune Smart City. We have been running and having multiple number of sustainathon. One of that is a very recent one in association with TCS, that is TCS Sustainathon. Then we have Pune Austin City Connect. And STEAM to STEAM is a very strategically planned program under Pune section, again, which is under the leadership and the guidance and the blessings of Professor Mani. So these are all our specifically carved out kind of programs to create social impact, technical impact, and benefit all our society members. Now, when we talk about impact, you definitely need to see the measure of it. How can you quantify the impact? Yes, one way to quantify impact is the kind of awards and recognitions and applause that you get at individual level as well as at section level. So every year, multiple members of section get number of awards and recognition across globe, as well as Pune section also has got best section award very much recently at R10. So Neha is there today. I really want to appreciate presence of Neha because when I presented Pune section, I received her prize or award. So I received that award on her behalf as the Best Volunteer Award for MGA. So we put hands together for me. Now, apart from these volunteering, being together, we have very strong presence of industries such as TCS, Eastern Technologies, Persistent, and we have very active collaboration with other professional organizations like IESA, MCCIA, PKC, PIC, and definitely today onwards I look forward for having very active presence and participation from the associations of my guests and guest of honor. So it's a kind of a commitment and an appeal and request to both of you to get associated with all of us. Now, IEEE Pune section is known for its active and very unique programs. For me, for us, what matters is not only member number. What matters is what impact you create with whatever number of members you have. So I feel really proud to present to you what kind of uniqueness that we bring to this particular ecosystem. Very recently, with the blessings of Padma Vibhushan, Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar sir, great Indian vocalist, Shri Mahesh Kare, Dr. Nidhin Karmarkar, ex-Vice Chancellor of SPPU University, we relaunched our initiative under STEM and STEAM program called as Shunya. So that particular initiative, we call that very unique. It's unique because section through the community of students, through the community of researchers, we are building that ecosystem to ideate, innovate, develop solutions, mainly to attract and create more footfall for showcasing the culture of Pune city through Kelkar Museum. So that's a very dedicated contribution of section that is through to Kelkar Museum through STEM to STEAM program. Even on the occasion of Marathi Bhasha Din, we launched Marathi Tri-Engineering program, which is very priority program for Dr. Saifur Rahman, who is IEEE president. And with this, what we are going to achieve, we are going to align our contribution to the objective of national education policy. Multiple engineering colleges who have been instrumental in contributing to NEP, their contribution, now we will make it to get global through this tri-engineering program. And then in this particular way, IEEE Pune section is envisioning to create an impact at global level. So these are a couple of things which we have been doing, and a very recent achievement, I should say, as far as section is concerned, that IEEE has formed a priority task force at global level as IEEE Climate Change Committee. And I have been nominated as a member of IEEE Climate Change Committee, where there will be representation across globe, mainly to discuss on, debate on, and cross-leverage the efforts and initiatives across globe combating climate change. So that is something which we look forward to from all of you to come and join hands with each other. Similarly, many of IEEE student members, they are appointed as member to contribute at various committees at India Council level, R10 level, as well as MGL level. So we feel proud that bunch of volunteers at IEEE Pune section, definitely we do have that potential to bring required difference as per volunteer is concerned. So in short, at section, we focus on creating more opportunities for students, for members. We focus on student grooming, skill development, faculty development, industry handholding, and taking up multiple social responsibilities. This is what we are, and this is what we do at IEEE Pune section. So with this briefing, I congratulate team of Eu-Reka for making this a grand success. I am thankful to guest and guest of honor for requesting your for accepting your request or for being over here to bless this occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's proceed further. Eu-Reka is a flagship event of IEEE Education Society with the prime objective to elevate the educational Reka at all levels of the society. I would like to call Professor G.S. Mani sir to educate us about Eu-Reka. A big round of applause, guys.
The three Indras on the dais. Very Prashant Joshi. And Eu-Reka's sister, Eu-Reka. My dear friends, students assembled here, and my colleagues, good evening to all of you. Well, education is something all of us are connected with. I would not like to take too much of time, but just touch upon some of the points that I just now mentioned and just elaborate a little bit more. IEEE bonus section, I don't know, many of you may not be knowing, has been associated with various aspects of education right from elementary school. We had a workshop for elementary school teachers of how to teach arithmetic at the elementary school level. We had classes running on organic farming. We had uh, programs for teachers at the high school level. Well, of course, we have been having many programs for the college, engineering college students, etc., etc. Of course, we have got Eu-Reka. So we are catering to a wide variety of education. I won't call it education. To learning in a broader perspective, heuristic learning. And here we have also brought in what Dr. Eu-Reka was mentioning. We have brought in the learning space need not be restricted to colleges and universities. Learning space is everywhere. And we have been experimenting with museum as learning space for 3 years. We are very happy that it has come to a really good learning space, not just for college students, but many. There are a lot of things to learn. Learning need not be restricted only to colleges. And this concept has been spoken about. I have spoken about it to the G20 people. In the G20 meeting, I mentioned about it, and there have been some good responses. People are trying to talk to us on this side. I just thought I will mention this aspect because these are all things on education side we have been doing from the IEEE side. Coming specifically for Eu-Reka, I would like to mention two things. One is STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics. Broadly, we call it an SNT in our country, but STEM is more popular abroad, but I think probably we're also adopting it. It's very important, I did not tell this. But what is more important in my opinion is, all of us have to tell the people, have to tell the children that STEM is important. Why I am saying this is this. If you look at the statistics published by our own Indian government, the dropout level at elementary school, I don't want to give wrong numbers, but say X. Middle school it goes to 1.5x. High school it goes to 4x. So that means the people who are taking up the children who are starting their education at elementary level, as they go higher up to high school level, they drop out. Many people drop out. And people who take up SNT, science and technology, drop out much more. Well, all of us being in urban area, we may not feel it. Because we feel, oh, everybody wanted to do engineering and medical. That's what we all talk about. Go to rural areas. You will see this because of many issues, because the schools do not have the proper infrastructure. People have to travel quite a lot of distance to get a good school. Girl students, problem of security is there. There are financial issues, there are social issues, many issues. So, as I said, what is our duty? Because we have all had 15 years of education, many of us. much more than that. Even the students have got 15 years, they have right from the elementary school to the engineering. So, when you have done your engineering, when you have done your studies, when you have done your education, you have put effort, there's no doubt about it. But many other people have also put effort. Your parents, your teachers, your all the colleagues, so many people have put effort for you to study. Isn't it time for you to give back to society? I think the one greatest thing that you have got, everyone here has got, whether they got money or not, doesn't matter. You have got knowledge. That's what 15 years of education has given. To give that back. That is the mission of Eu-Reka. So, mission of Eu-Reka is give back what you have got from society. You have got in the form of knowledge, so try to give it back. Second point I would like to come in. Well, I also said give it back. That doesn't mean that you should all go to schools and teach. No. It means, what I mean by this and what Eu-Reka means is this, that you should make the children, specifically rural areas, girl students who are generally dropping out, make them interested in STEM, make them interested in science and technology, make them ensure that they don't drop out, ensure that they continue to study, preferably in STEM. India can grow like that. That's the only way India can grow. Once they take up SLT, they come up, life, India will grow. Well, that is the mission of Eu-Reka. Well, today's a valedictory function, some of you will get prizes, etc., etc. Eu-Reka is not a contest. Please note, Eu-Reka is not a contest. Contest is where some people get prizes. Eu-Reka is a national movement where everybody gets prizes. When you go and when somebody asks you to sing national anthem, do you go to the dais to say, I will sing so that I will get a prize? No. You are going there to honor the nation. You are going there to salute the nation. Well, I would like Eu-Reka to be a movement like this. It's your duty to go and, if not educate, I would say, make them get involved in education. So, Eu-Reka is not a contest. I repeat, Eu-Reka is not a contest. Eu-Reka is a national movement. And it's our duty to see that all of us who are educated, who have put at least 15 years of education into ourselves, please go ensure that people at lower level are motivated towards it. So, Eu-Reka is a movement for motivation. Well, I got a lot of statistics. I won't go over with this. Now, these statistics prove that college students are very good motivators. Better than many of us, better than even the teachers. I got statistics to prove it. So, that is why you are all ambassadors of education. So, Eu-Reka is a movement, it's a national movement where you are ambassadors of education and you are making the flag fly high for India through education. So I thought I'll just share these points with you, all of you. Thank you very much for giving me this time. So from that point of view, I would not only like to congratulate the prize winners who are going to get the prizes today, but all those non-prize winners who are really the winners. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, to make us understand the mission of national movement Eu-Reka and make us realize our responsibility towards this society. and I'm really sure all of us will participate more willingly and contribute towards this motivational and educational movement. Please divert your eyes to the screen for a message from the IEEE India Council Chair and Director IIIT Bangalore, Dr. Devabrata Das sir.
Congratulations to IEEE Pune section for organizing Eu-Reka 2022. It is an unique event organized by IEEE Pune section across the nation's many other events with respect to the students. Let me explain to you why it is so unique, and congratulations to IEEE Pune section in this regard. As we know, this country, if wants to exit and excel, then education is one of the fundamental requirements for the next generations. And IEEE Pune sections has understood this and thrust their focus on this educational process. This Eu-Reka has multiple points which students discuss. One of them is the equality and inclusiveness of all categories of the students to the education. And also it adds the innovations to the thought process of the students by various discussions and curriculums. And also it focuses on the girl students more in the STEM programs, which can bring in balance in the various sectors of the professional lives. So if I look at multiple points which Eu-Reka is covering, it has made me to thought that this can be replicated in various places of the India and can be rolled out for the bring up this Eu-Reka program. As you know, Eu-Reka stands for EU-Reka. The Reka means the line above which they are pushing these educational systems to go up. I want to thank the chair of IEEE Pune section, Dr. Eu-Reka. As a coincidence, let me tell you, the Eu-Reka and Madam Eu-Reka has a lot of similarities, as Su stands for all the good things, and Reka means the line. She is pushing the Pune sections to do this kind of good works. I want to also thank the honorary secretary of the Pune sections and on all the executive members and all the members of the Pune sections again for this kind of activities. I wish this Eu-Reka program a grand and successful one. Thank you again for inviting me for this event, Eu-Reka 2022.
All noted.
Everyone, I'm happy to be here. First of all, allow me to present, to share my presentation without a video, because due to my current location, the bandwidth is not really fine. I hope it's okay with everyone. Yeah, allow me to begin by thanking the organizers of the event, that is the IEEE Pune section, for really inviting me to join you all today at this wonderful event. I continue to thank the IEEE Pune section for putting this awesome event together. Definitely education is key for the progress and advancement of society. First of all, my name is Luanga Herbert. I'm currently the chair of the IEEE Humanitarian Technologies Board. This is a new board that that has replaced HSC, that is Humanitarian Technologies Activities. I'll briefly share a few benefits of education. Education helps in spreading of knowledge in society. This definitely quickens the propagation of knowledge in an education society. Further, there is a transfer of knowledge from generation to generation by education. Education definitely makes an individual a better user of technology through providing the technical skills necessary for using technology. It is extremely important for employment, as it is it definitely provides all those that are skills with high-paying jobs, as well as taking the society forward. In summary, education is light to humans and brings one out of dark. It is certainly the hope for good life, and it is important to man. Its importance to man is immense, and for this reason, education must be given proper attention. Quality education must be delivered at all times in our schools so that humanity is touched and advanced positively. An educated society is worth the thing for humanity. Kindly allow me to share a brief, a couple of slides that I will talk about the IEEE Humanitarian Technologies Board, and also on how the education society can we can collaborate with education society.
Hello, I'm sorry, sir, but your slides and your video is not available here. Can you please check?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to, can I share right now? Okay.
Definitely, sir.
Are you able to see my screen?
No, sir, we are not able to see your screen here. Yes, sir, now we can see the screen.
Okay.
You can go on presentation, sir.
Yeah, I'll briefly take you through through what IEEE Humanitarian Technologies Board is all about. I'll also delve into briefly through IEEE site, the EPICS, and also the young professionals, how we can collaborate with young professionals, how HTB works closely with the young professionals, and what some of the volunteers are talking about IEEE site and a few other items. The Humanitarian Technologies Board usually reports to the IEEE Board of Directors, and it provides leadership as well as a suite of resources that enable IEEE volunteers around the world to carry out and support impactful humanitarian technology and sustainable development activities at local level. The Humanitarian Technologies Board oversees and supports all humanitarian technologies programs at IEEE, including all those that are executed by other IEEE organizations. So among these humanitarian technologies programs that I'm talking about, this includes the engineering projects in community service, the IEEE Smart Village program. It also oversees the Empower Billion Lives. It also oversees the MOVE program. The HTB is also responsible for execution of all humanitarian technology programs as assigned to it by the IEEE Board of Directors. These are the key strategic areas of focus that HTB currently is looking at this year. Raising awareness through, this is basically done through the understanding raising awareness through the understanding of the role of engineering and technology in sustainable development, providing training through a number of educational resources, supporting humanitarian technology projects and for sustainable development. Just to mention about this, currently HTB has just released a call for proposals for all volunteers who wish to implement any humanitarian technology projects within their community. So at this juncture, therefore, I encourage each one of us young professionals or any volunteers present at this event to take a look at the current call for proposals, and assuming you have any idea that you would wish to implement within your community, kindly go ahead and apply in, say submitting your proposal, and then once it is approved, you will be awarded funding of a maximum of about $10,000. HB also looks at building a sustainable development community through collaboration with other IEEE OUs and other entities. At this juncture, therefore, we as HTB, we definitely look forward to collaborating with the IEEE Education Society through Pioneer section. At some point, we can definitely discuss on how we can definitely collaborate along those areas. I can delve into the engineering projects in community service. This is also another humanitarian technology program that is overseen by the HTB IEEE Humanitarian Technologies Board. In here, engineering projects or engineering activities for students are definitely given some sort of support in order for these engineering community, for these engineering students to implement projects within their communities. In here, students come up with a solution to a particular community challenge. They collaborate with an existing non-government organization, and they can as well collaborate with a high school. So once there's that kind of collaboration and they submit in their project idea, definitely they'll definitely be awarded some sort of funding grants for them to implement that kind of solution within that community. This program definitely encourages students to learn on how to apply their skills within their communities through problem solving. It also builds their confidences further through enabling them to collaborate with other organizations within the communities. So I also encourage you to take a look at this website for any current opportunities for you all to really make use of. So for EPIC's program, definitely these are some of the benefits. Students get equipped for the workforce by designing, building, testing, and deploying engineering-based solutions to real-life community challenges. Students also develop their demand and needed professional skills such as communication, collaboration, leadership, project management, as well as time management. Students also are able to learn on collaboration skills. This is basically done through enabling them or allowing them to collaborate with other entities, let's say non-government organizations or community partners during the project implementation. This program also inspires students further or aspiring engineering to really opt in for engineering careers, because the project encourages volunteers to work with the high school. Definitely, once the high school students are involved in this project implementation, they will definitely be inspired or attracted to opt in for engineering as their future careers. Yeah, so in this respect, kindly feel free to check out this website for the current call for proposals as well. I'll also talk briefly through what SITE is all about. SITE stands for the engineering for the Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology Program. This is also an HTB program whereby it is usually a network of IEEE volunteers around the globe that usually collaborate or partner with underserved communities at local organizations, basically to leverage technology for sustainable development. SITE usually focuses on sustainable development solutions that definitely result into long-term differences in the lives of people. It operates through local volunteers and partners with and also works with underserved communities. So in this respect, therefore, apparently, as we have quite a number of site groups, which site groups are located in different locations. These are looking at the map currently. These are some of the locations of our site groups. They are all over the world, and I'm definitely confident that India has a number of as one of the most active site groups in the world. So currently we have about there are currently currently we have about 250 site groups which are really active, and these groups definitely are located in all those locations that I've just shared with you. There are a number of ways on how one can start a site group. The requirement is usually 6 members. These members come together basically to learn about sustainable development. They build their relationship with their communities. They implement or develop humanitarian technology and sustainable development projects using technology to solve particular community challenges. Non-IEEE members are also welcome and encouraged to join within their local site groups. And these groups usually should be affiliated with the IEEE organization unit. For example, assuming currently we have Peony section, and assuming 6 members come together to form a site group, definitely that site group will be under the Peony section. So once you have a site group, you can definitely proceed to applying for some sort of granting grant. You can proceed to applying for grant support within HTB, assuming you have any idea or project or solution that you would wish to implement within your community. Approximately 66 to 75% of all site members are student members or graduate members. Many student members and young professionals are actively involved with site groups. And in the recent past, many of the projects that have been implemented definitely have been really initiated by these young professionals. And we really appreciate all site groups that have recently participated in our recent call. And we continue to encourage each one of us, assuming you have any idea, kindly proceed to check out the current call for proposals at HTB. This is just a summary of some of the recently funded projects at HSC, which is now HTB. That gives a number of statistics of the projects that have been supported. All these are community implemented and initiated by young professionals and site members. There are a number of ways on how one can participate or collaborate with HTB. Apparently, we have one of the activities called IEEE Site Day. This usually happens in April, around 28th April. So with this activity, you can definitely partner, and you can organize an event. And in this respect, this day was definitely started basically to foster a spirit of community for global site networks, which has members over 29,700 individual members within 209 site groups. This within this event, participants or site groups are able to increase awareness about their site groups as within IEEE. They're also able to promote the opportunity to support the opportunity of, they are able to promote what they are doing in order to receive some sort of support financially. And also they end up by doing that, participating in those such activities, they are able to celebrate the impact what site volunteers have really done as far as community involvement or solution provision is concerned. By you participating in Saturday activities, you are able to share within your network and volunteers on what you are doing, on what impact you are really causing or bringing about within your community. You're also able to attend a number of sessions. This year's session we'll definitely have a number of sessions. Kindly look out for the call for the advertisement. Participants receive financial support. Okay, as a participant, you can also definitely, or as a volunteer, you can definitely donate a small gift to celebrate probably IEEE site existence. This is usually done through the IEEE Foundation. You can also take part in a number of other activities like the trivia challenges, as well as sharing your memory as a volunteer, what you've been able to achieve as a site or as a volunteer in IEEE. As a site member, we usually also give out to awards annually to the best site section group, as well as for to a best site student branch. And like I said, began since 2002, beginning since last year, we started a site. We began a site group of the year, which had two categories: one for the students and one for the professionals. So usually we make out a call for nominees towards the end of the year, and site groups usually applying, and the best a team of reviewers definitely review all those applications, and the best student branch site group is awarded. It is recognized through by awarding that particular group different prizes that involves certificates, also being recognized onto different HTB IEEE websites, as well as some sort of recognition in form of coming up with an article about that particular site group. Same applies to a professional site group as well. So I encourage each one of us to really always take a look at some of these current opportunities. What are some of the opportunities within HTB? One, publicity. You can continue to publicize what HTB or site is doing, or sharing out the opportunities within HTB site opportunities. You can as well collaborate with HTB through, let's say, for example, when it comes to a society. Apparently, we have different collaboration arrangements. Like now, for some societies, we have joint call for proposals. So at some point, probably we shall definitely initiate some sort of discussion or talk with the IEEE Education Society to see how best we can collaborate. You can as well identify other opportunities like funding opportunities within HTB. Assuming you have a project that you've already implemented and you would wish to scale it up, feel free to apply in for the funding for the current call. Once your proposal has been reviewed by the review team and it has been accepted or approved, you'll definitely receive that sort of support. You can as well as access a number of free online courses through the IEEE Learning Network. Courses on sustainable development. There are quite a number of resources in there, so feel free to access some of these resources to better to further to further your career forward. Let us know if you have any questions or ideas or suggestions. Feel free to reach us on those particular emails. We shall be more than glad to further share more discussions with you. Thank you very much. And allow me once again to thank the organizers for really putting together this awesome event. And I look forward to further discussing with IEEE Peony section on how further we can collaborate with the society and Peony section as a whole. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. I'm sure that everyone has understood your message and will be looking forward to collaborate with you soon. We are honored this evening by the presence of Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Ravindra Udkikar, sir. Dr. Ravindra Udkikar is the Vice President of Corporate Strategy and Marketing at Praj Industries Limited. With over 30 years of industry experience in product as well as project businesses, Dr. Udkikar has worked with international and domestic markets. Passionate about education, he has actively participated in numerous initiatives to further the cause of industry in forums such as CII, Inter-American Chamber of Commerce, Pune Management Association, etc. He is presently a member of CII Western Regions Committee on Innovation, Technology and Digitalization. I request Mr. Prashant Joshi Shah to please felicitate our chief guest.
We are honored this evening by the presence of our honorable guest of honor, Dr. Rajendra Shende. Dr. Rajendra Shende is an alumni of IIT Bombay and former director of United Nations Environment Programme in Paris. He has varied experience as senior manager in the private sector, including Tata in India. As coordinating lead author of IPCC, he has been awarded citation of Nobel Peace Prize in 2007. He has served as senior expert nominated by Government of India to United Nations Environment Technology and Economic Assessment Panel till 2022. I request Dr. Eu-Reka ma'am to please felicitate our guest of honor.
Now, I request Dr. Eu-Reka ma'am to please felicitate Mr. Prashant Joshi, sir.
This is great things that you have been doing.
This is mainly to appreciate and acknowledge the great amount of support that Mr. Prashant Joshi and his organization and his team has provided.
Now, I will request Dr. Virendra V. Shetty, sir, to welcome and felicitate Dr. Eu-Reka ma'am, Chair of IEEE Pune Section 20.
No, that's not required. That's really not required.
Not required. Not required.
Thank you.
I request Dr. Eu-Reka sir to say a few words to our audience.
Good evening. Good evening, I said. What a fantastic, scintillating evening this is. I am simply amazed by the wonderful overview of so many things that IEEE is doing under your leadership. My mind really races back to late 80s and early 90s in my studentship days, watching this very bright and vibrant faces of students gathered here. I have a long-standing association with IEEE and IIT, as my friend here, Ajay Kurde, will also recall. And back then, there was no digital technology, no plethora of activities that you outlined here, but we used to eagerly await the bulletins. And I must say that whatever little I have been able to achieve over past 3 decades, IEEE and IIT have a lion's contribution in it. All the way from my engineering days to writing a paper for IEEE Explore during last PuneCon and being associated with so many activities that IEEE is doing. I must mention tremendous work done by IEEE under the past chair Girish Khilari, also a good friend, and Dr. Eu-Reka Deshmukh, who is now upping the ante. It's tremendous. I'm simply speechless, and I can't help but recall late Nobel laureate Nelson Mandela's quote, who said that education is the most powerful weapon that we have to change the world for the better. And clearly, STEM indeed can do wonders. We know technology can do things that are unimaginable, and we all every day read what ChatGPT can do, and that just makes us believe that really we are just seeing the tip of the iceberg. What can I say about Eu-Reka and Professor Mani, your brainchild here? And I really like the thought that you put across, that it's not a competition, but it's a moment. We really know that technology has the prowess to change the world for the better, and it really brings human minds together. And when we are working in harmony, magic really can happen. So the way I have structured my address here is I'm just going to quickly look at macro and microeconomic environment we have. Then I'm going to a little bit talk about the business canvas. Many of you are budding professionals. Many of you are entering the corporate world, at the cusp of entering the corporate world. I'm also going to look at some of the transition themes, because transition is the word that really resonates in today's time. So really my address is focused on the transition. And then I'm perhaps going to touch upon some hot mega trends that we, not just you as students, but all of us as professionals have to look for. And in the closing, being a chief guest, I can't shy away from responsibilities of giving you some 2 cents of advice that has kept me in a good stead for past 3 decades. So if you look around what's going on, we have this prolonged war in Europe. And that prolonged war has really put the world economy under a deep stress. We know Russia as a major resource of energy, and we know Ukraine and that whole terrain as the suppliers of grains. And what one thought was a week-long or a month-long story has turned up in a year and still counting. And clearly, the breakdown in the supply chain for food and energy has precipitated a kind of crisis. Worse was thought of, but we are finding newer ways to battle with the crisis. But indeed, it has taken toll on the global economy, and clearly war-induced inflation is engulfing the whole global economy. Whereas US is just about staying afloat, we clearly see Europe struggling. And India, as we know, continues to be the bright, shining star under the circumstances. And the onus is on them, all of us, to make sure that we keep on that path. So what's happening in India or Indian business environment? Clearly, we have an extremely stringent competition, particularly from multinational companies. And just before getting in here, we were talking in a room there with some guests that with over 250 to 300 population of middle class with a great purchasing power parity, all the multinational companies you can think of are eyeing India as a great market. So all our Indian companies have very tough competition from multinational companies. And multinational companies, as we know, bring the financial muscle, bring the technology muscle, bring the brand power, and therefore the companies in India will have to wake up from their slumber and we'll have to give them a tough fight. This tough fight is mainly on the technology terrain. And we are clearly seeing that the product life cycles are dropping. Product differentiators is a thing of past. With crashing product life cycles, innovation and new product development is an imperative. So we'll have to constantly innovate. The innovation could be on product development, it could be on solutions development, it could be on service, it could be on business model, it could be re-engineering, financing, so many aspects of it. But innovation is the way forward. Now, innovation is not something which can happen overnight. It requires tremendous amount of resources, investments, time commitments, and it takes time to see the fruits of the innovation. Clearly, with money invested in innovation, falling product life cycles, there is a tremendous stress on the financial performance of the companies. And talking about customers, with a deeper penetration of internet, customers are becoming more and more knowledgeable. They demand more and more for less and less. And we are all privy that every time we want to buy any good or product or service, we go up the internet, we compare, and then we ask difficult questions. So to stay in the game, the companies will have to make sure that they are able to meet the customers' rising demands. And that again puts pressure on the financial performance. So we are in a situation where attracting new customers, retaining existing customers, or growing them is becoming a big challenge. And that's where all of us, particularly from the STEM background or technology professionals, will have a long role to play, big role to play, to make technology affordable. We all know that technology can do wonders. There is no doubt about that. The bigger question, however, is how can we scale up and make the technology such that it is proliferated at the bottom of the pyramid and the lives of the society at large are positively impacted. That's the bigger challenge we have on the business campus. I just mentioned at the beginning that the core theme of my address here today is that of a transition. So a word that is doing rounds every single day in newspaper, you will hear the word transition. And what are the kind of transitions that are happening? One transition that we are all seeing is from globalization to localization. We all saw that after the deadly pandemic, clearly global supply chains were broken down. Countries had to look inward to become self-sustainable. So suddenly the focus went on the domestic market. And as a result, the nations which had a strong domestic market consumption actually could ride the tide of pandemic. But again, we are living in a connected world. So we'll have to think global again because gone are the pandemic days, thankfully now. So again, we have to think how we can service the world. So making products that are global in application, making products that fulfill the domestic demand, in short, global for local, make in India for India and for the world was the slogan our Prime Minister gave. So one of the big themes right now resonating is that of a globalization to localization. Clearly, another transition that we are seeing is the epicenter of global economy, which has long resided in the Western and developed world, is definitely transiting and shifting towards Asia. We all know China as a global factory and India as a global service hub. And now after the pandemic, clearly China plus one policy of global multinationals is actually stepping up India's manufacturing prowess also. It took India some 60 years to clock the first $1 trillion in GDP. Then it took just 12 years to make the second trillion happen. And the third trillion came in 7 years with around $3.5 trillion. India is the fifth largest economy. And if you are following Honorable Finance Minister, she said that India may reach the $5 trillion economy goal much before the 2030 stipulated time. All the major management consulting firms, investor community, analysts are united in saying that it won't be long before India can rise again from being fifth to fourth and to the third. So only next to US and China and ahead of Germany and Japan in a matter of decade from now. So the great times are ahead for India. So that's the second thing we are talking about, is the global economic epicenter is shifting towards Asia. What is happening in Indian economy? The big transition in Indian economy is happening from a developing economy to a developed economy. Prime Minister has already laid a vision of India as a developed nation by 2047, and we are strongly pursuing that goal. So that's a transition again we are seeing happen. In the COP26 summit in Glasgow 2 years back, Prime Minister gave a clarion call of lifestyle for environment, which is a lifestyle change that we are happening. And what is that life? From mindless consumption to mindful and deliberate utilization. That's a major transition happening on the lifestyle. Everything that we are trying to do, we are trying to move towards circular economy, reduce, reuse, recycle, replenish, replace, repurpose. So keep the product in the life cycle by extending it, by modifying it. That's the next transition we are seeing in India. Clearly, another transition that is happening, that of a governance. Many of you will recall that India, mostly from the beginning of this millennium, was led by a coalition government. And last two elections, we are seeing a very stable, democratic, single-party government, which is a major governance shift that we are seeing. So the transition theme actually also is resonating. Talking about the industry landscape changing, we are clearly seeing that the focus is shifting from just multinational companies to a lot of focus on MSME segment. Because MSME, we were just speaking earlier, there are some 634 lakh MSMEs registered in India. MSMEs contribute to over 25 or over 30% of the GDP of Indian GDP. Next to our agriculture, it is the largest employer also. So there is a lot of focus in growing, sustaining, and making MSMEs resilient. And that is the best thing that this government has done, is it has come up with numerous themes to mainstream the MSME so that they are able to avail the resources, technology, funding, so as to become self-sustainable. Then clearly another shift on the business side is we are seeing that the share of services in the Indian GDP is increasing. Share of agriculture is dropping. So that's some of the things which we have to be watchful about. Knowledge processing, engineering centers, call centers, many of these things are forming a part of service industry, not to mention the skyrocketing aviation sector and so on. Then on the industrial side, we are clearly seeing the industry 4.0 taking deep roots, and while we are talking of industry 4.0, we are already seeing emergence of industry 5.0. So the first industrial revolution came centuries back. It took time, matter of a century or even few decades for the second and third and fourth revolution to come. But we are already in the fifth revolution, which is about human-centric automation. So that's the next transition we are seeing. And then, unlike in the past where growth came from doing more of same to an innovation-led growth. We have seen many unicorns, some 90,000 startups were registered in India, and many of them have gone up to be unicorns. So it's an innovation-led growth that we are seeing. So these are the major transition themes for India that we are seeing. What transitions are we seeing in the mobility space? We are seeing massive public transportation infrastructure being constructed countrywide. We are seeing that over 100 airports are coming up in tier 2 cities. So there is a lot of focus that is going on efficient public transportation, whether it is metros, railway network, bullet trains, and aviation connectivity. But importantly, we are also seeing that we are slowly moving from an internal combustion based mobility to electric mobility or a hybrid mobility. So that's also another important transition that we are seeing. As we know, energy is a growth engine for any nation. And the next transition theme is that of energy transition. So we are moving away from fossil fuel based energy sources to clean and green energy sources, from hydrocarbon, which is beneath the Earth's surface, to carbohydrate, which is on top of the Earth's surface, because they are more sustainable. So that's another major shift that we are seeing. So the word is transition, and we have to be cognizant as students and as professionals, how is this transition going to impact our life, businesses, society, industry as a whole? If we look at the mega trends that are right now shaping up, one of the mega trends is that of digitalization. No newspapers every single day run full columns as to how AI, ML, Internet of Things, data analytics, metaverse, and regenerative AI is transforming world for the better. So that's a big trend that we are seeing. But technology doesn't only mean digital. There is a lot of innovation that is happening in other spheres also. And that innovation and technology innovation is basically confluence or coming together of different sciences, different streams, cross-functional research, cross-domain expertise, new breakthroughs in materials, new applications of the same product. So there is a lot that is happening in that space. So technology is a big, digital technology is a major trend. We have to be cognizant that that technology must be used ethically for the better of the humanity and to make transition of energy happen, to reduce our carbon footprints, to reduce our energy footprints, to reduce our utility footprints, to minimize accidents, to make world a much safer place to live in. So that's the role of digital technology we are seeing, irrespective of sector and industry one is working. The next mega trend is that of net zero. And this is a topic we are very passionate about because it was decided in COP21 summit in Paris that if we have to limit the irreversible effects of climate disasters, we need to control the global temperatures to 1.5 degrees from the pre-industrialization levels. So whatever the global temperature was in 1800th century, we cannot allow it to rise more than 1.5 degrees or 2 degrees at the most. Otherwise, the effects will be disastrous. You know, read today's newspapers. There is a hailstorm untimely monsoons. And if you look at the climate calamities in last 2 decades of previous millennium and compare them with climate calamities in the first 2 decades of current millennium, there is a significant rise in human deaths, economic setbacks, infrastructure getting wiped out. It's pushing the nations back. We are already, year after year in Confederation of Parties Summit, SOS calls are given for sustainable climate actions. And these sustainable climate actions actually means that we need to control the greenhouse gas emission. We need to minimize our carbon footprints. And for that, they call race to zero or net zero. So there is a target to become net zero. For India, it is 2070, and there are 4 pathways to get to net zero target. First pathway is about energy transition, using clean and green. Green are the renewable energy sources like wind, solar, bio, tidal, thermal, geothermal, and then there are clean sources, which is again hydro could be also green, the nuclear and some of the other sources which minimize the carbon emissions and almost nullify the harmful greenhouse gas emissions. So energy transition is very, very promising pathway. Second pathway to net zero is forestation. Forests have a huge carbon bearing capacity. And fire forests in Amazon or elsewhere where forests are wiped out are having disastrous effects. So how we can conserve forest? Rapid industrialization, infrastructure development would mean a lot of deforestation. Particularly in hard to abate mining infrastructure. You create mines, you have to wipe out so much of forestation. So how we can conserve forest? How we can grow forest? That is a big ask in all of us. So plant more and more and more trees. The third pathway is that of a circular economy, which we spoke. Reduce, recycle, reuse, replenish, replace, repurpose. We have to move away from mindless consumption. Say no to single-use plastic. Adopt more sustainable lifestyle. That's the third pathway. And fourth pathway is of carbon capture and storage. So actually capture the carbon in the atmosphere and store beneath Earth's surface. So we need to graduate to circular economy. All the fossil resources are residing beneath the Earth's surface. When we extract them, number one, we are damaging planet Earth irrevocably. Number two, when we burn them, we are adding more carbon to what already exists in the atmosphere. And that is leading to global warming and climate change and its consequences. And these fossil fuels have thousands and tens of thousands years of carbon cycle. Instead, if we go for sustainable, environment-friendly alternatives, they have shorter carbon cycles. So therefore, net zero or race towards sustainability is the next mega trend that you can watch for. Sustainability, decarbonization, carbon recycling are the words that will resonate irrespective of sector and industry that will operate in. The next trend that we see, mega trend, is that of a bioeconomy, mainstreaming of bioeconomy. Bioeconomy is actually nothing but the goods, products made from biological resources because they are carbon neutral. We all learned that plants absorb carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, and when consumed, they emit carbon dioxide. So you have a kind of low carbon cycle or carbon neutrality when you graduate to bioeconomy. So whatever fuels come from the hydrocarbon route, you can get them through carbohydrate route. So biofuels is the next big thing that you are going to see. And what is biofuels? Ethanol blending in gasoline, ethanol blending in diesel, compressed biogas, because you have compressed natural gas, which is again coming from liquid natural gas, so which is again fossil fuel driven. So you have compressed biogas from agricultural waste, from processed waste, from municipal solid waste. You have raw material coming in the form of bio-based feedstock, which when undergoes biological or biothermal processing, you have a compressed biogas. Every nation is utilizing the resources they have in ample. India is blessed with fantastic sun, land and agriculture. So we must leverage our resources. An important thing about bioeconomy is it is facilitating inclusive growth, because when we use agricultural resources, we are mainstreaming the farming community in the whole economic cycle. We are creating jobs for the farming community. So therefore, it will to a large extent curb rural to urban migration. We all know that city infrastructures are stretched to a limit. So if we can create meaningful jobs for rural youth or farming community by developing decentralized biorefineries, like you have crude oil refineries, you have biorefineries next to farms. So after harvesting, the farm waste can be used as a feedstock for the biorefinery, and then that biorefinery will make biofuel, which can power the tractors or the vehicles in that rural area, and there will be employment generation for that community, and it will be a self-sustaining cycle. Not to mention that it is low carbon, it completes the combustion, so there is a less particulate matter, so it actually facilitates human health, which otherwise is at risk when you burn fossil fuel because of the greenhouse gas emissions and higher particulate matter. Number of deaths because of the respiratory illness is staggering. Anybody living in Delhi can tell that you will find that you will have to make your industry, or you have to strive to become more environment friendly. You have to strive to make the whole business operations more sustainable, more inclusive by way of society. And then governance clearly in all aspects. So ESG is another mega trend that you will see going forward. There's a lot to talk. We are on paucity of time, but there are a few things I definitely want to share with you, which can probably help you in your career. We always know technology is that kingpin which has a power to change life, impact at the bottom of the pyramid. So you as STEM students and the students who have participated in this Eu-Reka competition have an obligation to take your experiment to a prototype, and then to a product, and then to scale up, and then to commercialization. So the concept should reach its logical pathway, logical conclusion by way of benefiting the society. So technology is a kingpin. We as students will always have to challenge the status quo. There has to be a better way to do it. We must work for it. We must find it. There must be a way to reduce the energy footprint. There has to be a way to cut the processing time, cycle time. There has to be a way for efficient utilization of the resources. So we must challenge the status quo. Start with Why is a very famous book that Simon Sinek wrote. I would urge each one of you to read it. Importance of relationship cannot be overemphasized. You must network with the right people. You must keep a company of people who inspire you. It was fantastic to listen to Professor Mani, the kind of energy, the kind of wisdom, the kind of excitement he brought into this, even after working for the same cause after decades. Network decides your your net worth, so goes the saying. So it is extremely important to find right network to be in. And we are all fortunate that somewhere or other we are tied to the IEEE and fantastic work they are doing under several disciplines. I had good fortune of visiting Dr. Shetty's institution only last week, and I was amazed the kind of numerous initiatives he has and the collaborations he has with industry, and he is working so hard to let the students get exposed to the practical aspects of industry so that when they graduate out of the institution, they are a ready plug and play material. So that's extremely important to network with the right people. Failure as a natural process, nature has it in it. We see it all the time. This is a mango season, and come untimely rains and we can see the crop totally disturbed. So is the case with grapes. Every time we try, farmers try countless times, we all read in newspaper. So we will also fail. It is only human beings who have impossible urge or ask to succeed every single time they put themselves to the task. When you fail, you are just that much step closer to success. I think there are veterans. I see Jagdish here, Eu-Reka, Neha ma'am from IT industry. They all call fast, fail fast. So you can get to your destination by method of elimination, how not to do things. What doesn't work, that will take you very fast. So failure as a natural process is something all of us need to remember. Like I said, all this Eu-Reka thing should eventually translate into some kind of entrepreneurial venture. So as youngsters, we must, or you must aspire to be job givers than job seekers. There is a great India has largest number of startups already reported, highest number of unicorns, one of the highest number of unicorns going. There is no scarcity of resources, ideas, talent, funding. So many government policies are there. So you must aspire to be job givers than job seekers. That would be my sincere request to you. While into this journey of startups, one must be cognizant on creating value. So the focus has to be on value creation and not valuation. We all get swayed over the unicorns and the massive money that chases good ideas. But end of the day, those ideas are sustainable only when there is a value creation. The great Narayan Murthy only the other day said that, today's startup ecosystem has become a kind of Ponzi scheme. The whole focus has gone on valuation than value creation. So that's one pitfall we must watch for as we set up in an entrepreneurial journey. So I would like to end here by saying that you are living in we all are living in an unprecedented time. India's global leadership is being voiced at every forum. India has a dream to become energy independent by 2047. India has a dream to become developed nation by 2047, and it's on its way. Indian economy is one bright shining star, so say the reports, whether it is World Bank, IMF, or the major management consultants. The onus is on us how to make most of the opportunity. Right time, right place, and with the right people. It's up to us how we can make most of it. I once again express my sincere gratitude to Eu-Reka ma'am, to Shetty sir, to Girish Chilare, Abhijit, Amar. All of you are a fantastic team. I can feel the vibrancy, the way IEEE is working and marching forward and giving a bright students getting converted into very promising professionals to the industry, which is what is the need of the hour. Thank you once again for inviting me here, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Dr. Rajendra Shinde, sir, our guest of honor, to say a few words to our audience.
Namaskar. I hope all of you know real meaning of Eu-Reka. We have been making a lot of linguistic circles on the names of the dais. But Eu-Reka is a Greek word which says extreme cry or joy of discovering something. I'm sure all of you remember that during your school days. For me, it was a real great discovery that not only IEEE is doing a great job, particularly with the help of ideas and those who implement ideas, that is young people who are sitting on the backside. And another joy that I get is the Sustainable Development Goal on gender equality. I can see a number of girls which are almost similar to the boys, I suppose, in this, or maybe more. And that joy is unparalleled for me coming from the United Nations, where in each meeting we discuss that SDGs are not getting implemented and we are far away from the targets which are to be achieved by 2030. But I'm very happy that that is happening here. I have, in the sequence, I was before Dr. Ravindra Udgirkar, and he was given 5 minutes, I was given 15 minutes. I'm going to finish my talk in 5 minutes because I think the replacement is probably a symbol saying that, and that's why I got my smartphone here, only to see that I finish in 5 minutes. In my introduction, one of the things which was missed is I belong to a village called Rahmatpur. And I was near to the nature when I got educated. And probably that has made a tremendous impact. Not only on me, but those who selected me for United Nations. Because they got that the first thing we have to do is a solution by nature. And we always neglected it. We talk about education 1.0, 2.0, now we are in 4.0. Same thing we do about industry. But we definitely miss the starting point 0.0. And that's what the nature gives us. Now there are studies which are going on nature that internet was invented before what we did. And in Wikipedia you can see who invented internet. But there is now study going on that internet was invented by trees. The roots of the trees, they talk to each other. They inform, don't go in this way, there's a rock there. You probably will get challenged. And those kind of things that we need to do it. And I feel that the kind of challenge which was given to the students, that challenge, what they have done, is a technology dissemination. By going to the communities, by going to the schools, the younger people, and I think they have done a fantastic job. And first of all, I would like to congratulate them in advance. Going to the bottom, whether it is a community, whether it is a schooling, whether it is an education system, is something very important. The bottom of the pyramid is what makes the pyramid. And I'm going to the bottom and working with them, not only to teach them, but to learn from them. So today my exercise is learning from you people. So I'm waiting for, basically, listening to you about your experiences of going to the school. And that is what the eagerness, and that's when I would say it's a Eu-Reka. And I would like to get that kind of pride and joy to listen to you for that. Finally, I'm going to tell you about the climate change and all those environmental, social, and economic problems that we are facing. I'm going to tell you the solution. All these challenges, and people say there are 3 C challenges. We just passed COVID, then there was a climate change, then there was a conflict. I don't want to name the countries. But what I would like to say is, these 3 challenges, if at all they repeat or prolong, the only way they can be changed, there are no other pathways. Only pathway is the young people, the youth. And that's why United Nations has started what is called as making your campus a living laboratory for making a change. Don't think you are just a physics and chemistry laboratory. You are the whole campus. The campus where you live. And that can be a living laboratory. Make SDG implementation wherever is relevant in your campus. Make net zero in your campus. And that's what we have, my organization, Green Their Foundation, has started with the help of former United Nations Under-Secretary General and Honorable Prakash Javadekar and AICTE and UGC, saying that we will take 75 universities before 15th August 2023. They will start preparing a roadmap for carbon neutrality. Put the focus, put your head down and get it done. Knowing that I was coordinating lead author of IPCC that won the Nobel Peace Prize, the direction is clear. Unless we make net zero by between 2050 and 2060, we would not be able to save the life on this earth. And by 2030, maybe 2025, we should peak the emissions. Emissions are still rising. And once we peak it, the next thing is getting it down. Only answer is the action. Charity begins at home. Action begins at campus. Thank you very much. My 5 minutes are over.
Thank you, sir, for giving us such innovative solutions to climate change. Our Eu-Reka participants went through a rigorous evaluation process, the parameters of which will be shared by Mr. Prashant Joshi, sir. I request sir to please take over.
Good evening to everyone. I think dignitaries at the dais, off the dais, and most important is the budding engineers. I think this event is really with a focus on you. Right? I think that's the key focus. But before we get into the evaluation criteria, one of the pieces that Mani sir mentioned was about this not being a contest or this not being a competition in the first place. I think this compares to what we call as a sport, right? You may have been exposed to a variety of sports. So this is about sports or nature. I think these are the 2 things that I would like to mention. That is how we get inspiration to grade or rate you. Have you seen floor exercises or gymnastics? Synchronized swimming? Yeah. Do you know that it has an objective mechanism of giving marks? Nadia Comaneci got 10 on 10, right? So there is a very objective mechanism even to a very subjective sport like that. And in fact, I learned that from one of my colleagues when I was at Motorola, who used to be an Olympic coach and Olympic referee for floor exercises. So I think that's how things are. So we really look at it from that perspective. And classically the sport, teams come in, we're going to shortlist you based on certain parameters specifically related to your study, your transfer of knowledge, and also how it has been taken up by the receiving students. Because this is students really presenting to students. And that allows really the camaraderie to be built. Because as it was said that sometimes, children don't listen to their parents, they listen to their teachers. Sometimes they don't listen to their parents and the teachers, but they listen to their seniors. And seniors play a tremendous role in shaping up these young citizens' minds. Right? And then there's a second piece that I would like to mention, that students and children by many are called as future citizens. In fact, I think this is to be changed, and you really are young citizens. You're already citizens of today, and you're going to take this forward. So our evaluation criteria is like the sport. So what we are believing is that each one of you are going to continue to play the sport. It is not that you're going to participate in Eu-Reka and do this teaching learning business for just this much portion, but throughout your life as a professional. You may be a mentor to somebody. You probably are going to learn from many. So I think this process needs to continue. I think that is the core of what Eu-Reka is about. Instilling that inspiration, instilling the real need and want for education. I think looking up to someone, everyone here in this room was inspired by somebody or someone. I think everyone has a capability to inspire somebody. I think that is something what Eu-Reka is about. If you were not told about this earlier, I think you should remember this very well. That is what it is about. In fact, there are two people whom I would mention, one whom I have met and one whom I admire. And these are from the world of sport and mountaineering. One guy is Anyatam Rajkumar. Anyatam Rajkumar belongs to Guwahati. In fact, we bumped into him at Bangalore airport. He and his father were struggling to take a picture because he wanted to give it in the newspaper. No news personnel were following him, but he's the only person, only Indian in many years who actually won a medal at Paralympics in Australia in 2020. And we were able to take a picture. We actually sent it to the newspaper, but that was really inspiring. And little fellow, Paralympics, so in fact he was differently abled, and imagine he had just overcome his differently abledness to really win. The second guy is, we always talk about everybody does the same thing, but I think doing it better and doing it to the next level actually takes you from the first level of, I think, Super 30 to Super 10, and then there is going to be a Super top, right? That's how the whole pyramid goes. So the next example is about a person who also is featured in the documentary on Netflix. His name is Nims Persia. Okay, Nims Persia. Nims Persia is the only person who has been able to complete all the 14 peaks, 8,000ers as they are called, in 7 months. In 7 months, he finished off all the 14 peaks. He's one of the very well-known mountaineers. You must watch the documentary. So it's not about once something is done, it is done. In fact, doing it better than what you did last time is amazing. And in fact, he and his team hold a record, and I have the record over here. He has done the job of climbing 3 8,000ers around Everest. I think it's Kanchenjunga, Everest and Lhotse in 8 days, 23 hours and 10 minutes. So 3 peaks over 8 days is what he completed. And I think that has been a world record. So what I would like to state is our judging has always been based on the subjective matters, but also wanting to make sure that someone who has put in their best effort, best foot forward to make things happen, to make that difference, is whom we want to select as a winner. And again, if you continue this sport of educating and education, I'm sure everybody is going to win in the overall scheme of things. So everybody is a winner from a perspective, but of course, even if you are the best, we are also looking for best of the best. And I think that's what has been our entire way in which we have evaluated over the past 7-8 years of work that we have been doing. I think this is the 8th year now that I have been associated also, and I think decades worth of work has gone into it in terms of the way the whole activity is conducted, and it has matured over a period of time. Last point to mention is that we do not look at the streams per se. So it's not only about only the high-tech streams, right? High-tech is generally related to high-paying, right? Most of the time, whatever is high-paying becomes high-tech. But I strongly believe that we treat all engineering areas as equal because everything makes an impact, right? And everything that is required really has to be done in a proper way. In fact, we talk of sustainability and EVs. I think we are yet to get there because there are diesel generating sets which are still used for charging the EVs sometimes. So I think we are in a funny world right now. And I'm looking forward to how we together, our experience, your enthusiasm can work together to make those changes happen. Right? So I think with that, I'll close my remarks on the evaluation, and soon we'll get into knowing the winners and who have really gotten to the peak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope everyone is very motivated now. And now we'll proceed further. We are grateful to the judges for giving us their valuable time. I request Dr. Ravindra Giger, sir, to please come forward and evaluate our jury members. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really so sorry. Mr. Suresh Kapai.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Can we please have Mr. Ramesh Mali? Can we please have Mr. Shiv Sutta?
I'll come. Maybe you can state that. It would be nice.
Dr. Ratndeep Doshi, Associate Dean, IQAC Quality, MIT WPU University. Meanwhile, let me take a short recap. Suresh Kapre working with Amdocs. Then Dr. Ramesh Mali is the head of the department in MIT ATT. Shivsita, professor at MIT WPU. Next, I would like to call upon the Dr. Priyanka Tupe Wagmare. She is working with Symbiosis University. Yes.
Okay, smile.
Yes. Now I request Sherry sir to do the honor. Next is Dimple Pal ma'am. Is from TCS. Thank you. Next is Professor Tushar Mote, academician, JSTM.
Multiple responsibilities, Modi
Yes.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Next, Dr. Amar Gutre. Do we need introduction of Dr. Amar Gutre, sir?
Absolutely required. Very much required. Nobody knows it.
He's a star.
It's not.
Absolutely.
The worst person, the most wanted person. In a good way.
Dr. Akoria Priya Charles, HOD, DY Patil.
Thank you very much, madam.
Dr. Bhalchandra Vite, Faculty Management AISMS.
This is very, very important and a critical role that they all
All
of you have played.
right.
Thank you very much.
Next is Dr. Ravindra P. Vaidya sir, Principal MES. All these are the present, I must say the jury members are here.
Look here. Okay. Smile, please.
Dr. Raghavendra Prasad SG is joining online. Thank you, sir, for your valuable contribution. Where few missing or who are unable to attend today's session or today's program, H.A. Pawar from CEO Pera organization. Professor Kailash Tabe, earlier he was a professor, but he is now day off working in industry as a CEO. Dr. Makarand Yadav is a HOD and academician from CLR. Ashwini Pathak, Dr. Ratatre Vagole, Dr. Kranti Ghag, Dr. Vijay Sonje, Srikanth Mandar Projector sir, then Samudresh Yas, and Dr. Archana Kavle, Jayashree Jagdade. These are the because of their family issues they were unable to join today's session. But I take this opportunity to thank them from the bottom of my heart to perform the role of judges, juries, and given us the very great result that we are going to announce shortly. Thank you, the dais, please. Please stay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I now call upon stage the judges and evaluators to share their experience of Eu-Reka 2022. We have Dimple Pal ma'am. Please address us.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are enjoying this evening together. So I'm here to share my experience. Believe me, it was an amazing experience. Right from the first day when we came together for the meeting, where Abhijit sir had said an invite, and we have to come across. From last 2 years, I have been judging under the guidance of Mani sir, and he's been amazing to share his experience. And with his blessings, we've come to a point where we have good knowledge of how to evaluate. So believe me, it's a tough task for someone to evaluate young students who are full of energy, who are full of commitment, you are full of all the enthusiasm that we need. So thank you all for sharing all the experiences. And it was an amazing experience because we have to go through all the feedbacks. And believe me, reading all the feedbacks was amazing. In fact, I had to set up my calendar that, one I'm going to give only for the evaluation. And sometimes the password didn't work. And then I had to call up and, ask that password is not working, please arrange things for us. So, it's been an amazing experience, and I'm sure your experience, on the ground level would be more exciting than what we have done on the system. So I think I should not take much time. We would like to hear from you all how it was, for you. Thank you.
Sorry, coming back. I extremely sorry. I missed one jury member who is present here. I request Srikanth to come. I request our chair, Dr. Eu-Reka, ma'am will presentate the Srikant sir. Okay. Thank you. I now request Dr. Ratndeep Joshi sir to come and give his view on Eu-Reka validation. Thank you, sir.
A very good evening to all dignitaries on the dais, the winners today, and the ambassadors of the mission and the dream of Professor Manisa's vision for nation. We have heard a lot. There were a lot many exchanges, fantastic things from Eu-Reka sir, Dr. Shende sir. They are practicing. Obviously, a fellow who has contributed into the National Education Policy NEP 2020, and we did that all work, a lot of work during the pandemic itself under Professor Kasturandan's leadership. Many meetings from Delhi scheduled from the Ministry of Education. I would personally say that when I was contributing as a subcommittee member into the National Education Policy 2020, right now we are implementing from June 2023. This competition Eu-Reka actually was practicing the NAP much before it was actually announced. And I think that is a real case for all of us. The multidisciplinary approach each team had was fantastic to observe. It was quite challenging for at each turn to understand the vision, the thought processes linked by each of the member of the team and the collected efforts of the team, then the input and the outcome which is coming, because we value the outcome, not the output. And that as a team of jury member, we try to stick with that. The outcomes of the competition should come where they are actually exhibiting something which is tangible, something should come into, we talked about unicorns, can we find out some gems? Because talking more, instead of more that, I just remind you all, I hope many of you would have heard about or read the book, Russell Conwell's book, Acres of Diamond. Now, we keep on searching on, and the book where it is for a fellow who is residing nearby the Indus River and heard about something called as diamonds, who never had a wealthy fellow and keeps moving on, went to Persia to find out the diamonds, and during the journey lost all his wealth, sold everything and died a day on a voyage day. So, and few years later, when his backyard was dug up, the discovery of diamonds were found at his own land. So this is what happens is sometimes we keep on roaming around trying to in search of some gems and find out like, okay, here it may not be. We will be a developing nation by 2047. However, what's happening with our learners today? What are the gems that we need to discover from them? We need to find, we need to groom them, and then obviously take them further. And I think Eu-Reka, Sendesa mentioned about the origin that comes up. There are threads, I think, connecting with what Manisarai, whom I really believe in. Archimedes, who came up with this, actually invented most of the mathematical propositions, not for a benefit of a contribution or a generation of knowledge, rather than to instinct the security of the nation. So all of his formulations actually came as weapons. And for that he developed it and made his country a sovereign that was made as such or bound up. Same thing that comes up that for the nation that we are trying to build, you are the pioneers of that. We are all contributing, and I see every contributor here. I don't want to call you as a competitor or a team member. I want you to be a contributor of the ideas, and you have exceeded about the expectations as a jury member. Most of the time we undermine you, we think that you may not be reaching to this level. You have most of the time astonished us that this level could be reached by our learners, and that is a great satisfaction for me as a jury member. So there were lot many learnings from you. It's not like I am a jury, so I have some heart or something different that it looks up. So I have also learned from you. So there was a continuous process of update and upgrade, as well as the learning, relearning, and obviously some unlearning. I think this is the mantra for 21st century. Please cherish. Then I think we all, you and me, will be able to contribute to the vision. All these stalwarts are looking for the nation, for the humanity. Dr. Chandisar from here is working towards a part of because I said about the conference of parties. I am pleased to, they may not be because of paucity of time. However, Dr. Shendesar had been a part of all these conferences of parties, right, at even recent Egypt COP also. So we have these stalwarts to guide us. Let's march with their guidance and move towards excellence. With that, thank you. Special thanks for Professor Vijit sir bringing the multidisciplinary approach. I think that is very vital, which is sometimes we miss. So we are practicing NAP, talks about multidisciplinary research, multidisciplinary education, and obviously here at this gathering. Thank you all and wish you a very good day.
No event is possible without the humongous efforts and valuable contributions of the ambassadors. On this note, I request Dr. Prashant Joshi to felicitate the ambassadors of Eu-Reka.
We have our first ambassador as Muhammad Nifat, but he could not be here due to some reasons. We have Tulsi J to achieve his felicitation. Can we have you, Tulsi? Next we have Kartik Kumar. Next we have Jamuna Yu. She's also not present here, so Kartik, I would request you to receive the presentation.
Look here. Smile, please.
Kartik.
If somebody's not there, okay. Next.
We do have Sharon Mariam Jones as well, but she's also not present here due to some reasons. So now I would like to call upon Ajit sir to please continue.
Okay, so let me announce the winners directly. The presentations we will be having. We need to stop the presentations because of the short of the time. Okay, we'll see how we can manage all these things in some time later. Okay, so let me announce the winners. The second runner-up, Kaviya M and team. Come, you just join us.
Can you say where they are from?
Yes, Kaviya M from the Madras section.
Smile, please.
Yes.
Okay. Smile, please. One more. Thank you.
Amar sir, please join us.
अभी यहाँ पे खड़ी
Yes.
अभी हिलना नहीं
Okay.
Yes.
Ready, all of you? Smile, please. Manisha? Manisha, please.
Look ahead, please.
Yeah. Smile. Yeah. Thank you.
All the best.
So, Kaviya is from Madras section. Kaviya.
They have cracked the code, looks like. Very well. So the next batch is under pressure. They have to also put very well.
Yes. The first runner-up is Archana, NK, and team. They are from Kerala section. They scored 93.5 in the assessment.
Okay, okay. Okay. Ready, all of you?
Thank you all the dignitaries for honoring the team. And please hold your hearts for the winner of this Eu-Reka 2022. And the winner is Harini and team from Madras section. They scored 94.5 in their assessment and won this winner trophy 2022.
Congratulations. Very nice. Two on this side, two on this side.
Okay.
Please give them a big round of applause because they have done magnificent job. They are the brand ambassadors of Eu-Reka for 2022. So let me tell you, there were total 128 registrations when we started with Eu-Reka. Out of them, 68 teams from the all over India, they submitted their project, their task to the Eu-Reka portal.
Ready?
Then
Smile, please.
Then our jury members came into the picture. They worked hard to choose the best of them. They go through all their aspects, whatever videos they have uploaded, whatever feedback has been given by the schools, whatever the feedback has been given by the learners, right? And then again in second round we have entire process, and again the second round, few jury members who have assessed rigorously, and whatever the results we have, those results we have brought. We are completely proud of all these 68 teams, not only the top 10 or top 3 teams. We are proud of all the 68 teams who have completed this process very rigorously and became the brand ambassador of education in India. We're proud of you. We love you all.
Now you know how to do it. That's the benefit you have.
Okay.
Sir, आप आइए. आपका टीम है.
Please come, mentor.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Other teams, please collect.
With this, just wanted to share the information. Our outreach in the last say 3 years now, 3-4 years, has exceeded 50,000 children, out of which more than nearly 60% are girls.
We have some points.
Yeah, only before vote of thanks, I take this opportunity. Mani sir, please. Because as I said, the most important personality for Eu-Reka 2022 is Professor G.S. Mani, and we must felicitate Professor Mani sir also. So sir, please, I request Chief Guest and Guest of Honor to do this. Okay.
Three cheers for Mani sir. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Okay. Smart, please. One more. Thank you.
Let him hold it, otherwise it looks like I'm giving him it's not with his seniority.
I came for that. I didn't come for hearing others. Let's keep holding. I know.
Okay. Okay, we are moving towards our next item, that is the vote of thanks. Before going to vote of thanks, I have planned one surprise element for this Eu-Reka journey. Okay, so I'll take you to the journey. It gives me immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on this special occasion. Eu-Reka, an event started in early 200s, that is 2003, reached such a big level, that is the achievement of all the volunteers. Right, the student awareness program is brainchild of Dr. DJ Loke and Tagare sir, the father of Indian capacitor. I would like to mention and take this on record that our oldest committee member, Dr. DJ Loke, started this event way back when the IEEE Pune section was subsection under Bombay section. The event was at very bold its significance and continued with glory. Here, we would like to recognize and appreciate Dr. DJ Doke as the first architect of the student awareness program, the technology dissemination contest, and later it became the Eu-Reka. I request our chief guest, Dr. Ravindra Udgikar, to felicitate Dr. DJ Doke. As he is not here, I request Dr. Sureka Deshmukh ma'am to accept the honor on behalf of Dr. DJ Doke as the first architect of Eu-Reka. I requested ma'am to accept because she is the brightest student of Dr. DJ Doke sir and she is proud of it.
The student of Dr. Doke.
Yes, so that's why I requested our chair to accept this honor on behalf of Dr. DJ Doke sir. In between, the time have passed and our past student activity committee chair P.D. Mane and the team changed the student awareness program to the technology dissemination contest for the student that becomes the TDCS. Now the next man of heart, our star and youngest mind of IEEE Pune section, Dr. G.S. Mani. Professor G.S. Mani took this event to the next level with his idea and transformed TDCS to Eu-Reka, laid a hand to raise the education Rekha, and the new journey began in 2018. In 2019, we had Kasturi Rangan, the architect of National Education Policy 2020, and again the Eu-Reka got its apex level and became the honored flagship event of Eu-Reka Pune section. We are proud of you, sir. Now Eu-Reka is recognized the national Professor Mani was in full swing to talk COVID that you can take people but can't take willpower if they believe out of them. In the year 2020 and 2021, he took this event to the next level. Hence, here is the next architect of Eu-Reka, which is already present by Sir. Right, so sir, we love you and we love your all the contribution. That is surprise element I made for you, that the architect of Eu-Reka, right? Please accept the honor and give us the blessings. Respected Professor Mani sir, I request the honor. And the next is when I was looking at the journey of student awareness program to TDCS to Eu-Reka, my memory stick to one of the gathering in 2017 at Hotel Surya, where a person approached me and said, Mr. Thurpe, this year, our one event is pending and nobody remembers this event. Now it is our responsibility to get this event done. I was amazed when I glared back at Professor Mandar Khurjekar, having a naughty smile as usual, and back at him, Professor Kailash Tambe and Dr. Vivek Deshpande were witnessing the event. Indeed, that was the first event and the first consultation of Professor Mandar Khurjekar for me in IEEE Pune section. I was shocked and looking at this tripartite alliance to anchor me for this wonderful event. Later, we hosted this event in the Field College of Engineering student branch, but I feel this youngster of IEEE Pune section always contributed very significantly to the development and witnessed all the phases of Eu-Reka. I thank him to keep this event alive when it was actually on the verge of extinction. Hence, there was next architect of Eu-Reka, Professor Mandar Khurjekar. I request again Dr. Shende sir to felicitate our beloved Mandar Khurjekar sir. As sir is not there, I request Dr. Amar Putre sir to accept the honor. I think he deserves a big round of applause because he always there, always ready to help all of us. Due to ill health, he was unable to come. Thank you. Now, without taking too much time and middling between you and your dinner, waiting outside, I would like to take the opportunity to express my hearty gratitude towards our chief guest, Dr. Ravindra Udgikar sir, for accepting the invitation on such a short notice. The beauty of this person is even if he is the chief guest, he is actively volunteering in the event organization while creating the checklist for me at the back end. For the various activities, due to my other priorities, sometimes I was unable to take his calls, but he never gave up on me. Here I remember what Jim Collins mentioned in his book, Good to Great. A sustainable leader is a person who can practice determination and humility at the same time. So humbleness and determination are the key points. I experienced the same blend in Dr. Ravindra Udgikar sir. Thank you, sir, for all the guidance and affection you have shown towards us. Thank you, sir. Now, we are also honored to host the man with the journey from the stark rural area in the India to the bustling cities of India. From the very peculiar local Marathi language to imperial English to stylish French. From the business and industry to United Nations. From the causes of the problem to the tenets of the solutions. From the making chemicals to phase out of those lingering and persistent man-made pollutants. I would like to take this opportunity to express my wholehearted gratefulness to Dr. Ravindra Shende sir to accept our invitation on such a short notice and gracing the event with his cheerful presence. Sorry, Rajendra Shende sir. Sir. Don't mistake it with Narendra Shende. sorry sir. Rajendra Shende sir. Sir, manapasun dhanyawad, wholehearted thank you, and next me. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Lavan Hubbard, Chair Monitoring Board IEEE to take his time and addressing the gathering. I thank Dr. Devbrata Das, Chair IEEE India Council to take his time and give us the short video message. I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Girish Khilare sir. He is the source of inspiration. He is one of those rather first of those people who made me stand here for the Eu-Reka and the secretary for IEEE Pune section. Thank you, sir, for your continuous support throughout the journey. I take this opportunity to thank Office Bearers 2022, Dr. Neha Sharma, my mentor in IEEE Pune section. Her continuous support. I thank Dr. Amar Bhutre sir for 24/7 support. You are truly the support band for IEEE Pune section, the great person with humble attitude. I thank our current chair, Dr. Eu-Reka Deshmukh ma'am, for understanding the entire situation. It was great to have her on my side as she provides a solution and guidance before raising the questions. She is having the great empathy toward the people. So, a proactive and supportive teammate and the backbone of IEEE Pune section. Thank you, ma'am, for your entire support. I take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks to Dr. Virendra Shetty for giving me the free hand to handle an entire event and supporting me and when required. Thank you, sir. I'm just a steward of this event. We would love to grace Dr. Virendra Shetty, sir, for his support and guidance. I thank Dr. Yogendra Patil, Secretary of Education Society, for handholding at last-minute responsibilities. I express my gratitude towards the EXICOM 2022 and 2023 for supporting and accepting the invitation for making this event memorable. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Prashant Joshi sir and Leap and Scale Foundation who have supported this event to take the leap and scale and excel alongside Professor G.S. Mani. The winning prizes and the sponsorship is given by Leap and Scale Foundation. So thank you, sir, for joining hand with us. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude towards Dr. Neha Sharma, Dr. Amol Boze, Mr. Sujit Bhandari, and the Society of Data Science to provide wonderful platform to hold this year's Eu-Reka on the digital platform. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I thank all the jury members for their contribution, diligent support, and make this competition transparent and successful. My student volunteers, dear volunteers, you are close to my heart. Without your support and contribution, we cannot imagine of IEEE Pune section and its glory. Your contribution is very significant. Not only made this event memorable, but made our section the best small section, best medium section, and the best large section at the end. Thank you for your entire contribution to the name of some Satakshi who have handled design team, Vinit, Devang, Atalbir, Athar, and various all people. Where the I must mention his name because he's given very big support to us. As we stuck in between studies, exams from the various sections at different time, due to COVID, we were unable to involve volunteers to our aid. In this difficult time, my MBA students, even they don't have any stake, come and help us to make this event successful, like Rutuja, Shubham, Mayank, and other team. I specially mentioned them. They contributed even in the exam time. Thank you, my dear friends. I would like to congratulate all the winners, the top 10 contestants, and mainly all the participants who made this event successful. I thank mentors of these teams, colleagues, and schools for providing support from them. In conclusion, I would like to once again thank everyone who has contributed towards making this educational technical activity a success. We hope that this event has provided everyone with valuable knowledge and skills that will help them in their future endeavors. Thank you all. Here I take your permission and I declare the event is concluded. Now let's have
the last point, as you heard Abhijit, and he already gave a vote of thanks, but being a chair of IEEE Education Society, I have a responsibility of felicitating Abhijit because he really worked hard for us. So, experts, our today's chief guest and guest of honor, please Abhijit come and
He's the one who concluded the event. Success.
So,
Yes, thank you all for your continuous support. Thank you.
So this is Eu-Reka 2022. The last year chairman Dr. Girish Khilari sir. Again, Education Society Secretary Abhijit. Our another important personality was Dr. Archana Kusal ma'am. So I thank each one of them for executing this event. Thank you very much. Now there is one announcement. The student will announce. Please follow that announcement.
Our guest of honor would like to interact with the winning teams. So please do stay in the hall and interact with them. Okay. Thank you everyone for being a part of this wonderful event.